At the point when you're nothing and change yourself into something like me. You call it joy harmony. Whatever you need to call it. Individuals are missing precisely exact thing. Went on with David Goggins. How about you? Grin. I do. However, I sort something out. That is the reason you won't ever hear me say I'm missing something. I tracked down it quite a while back. You track down think that it is in the suck. You track down it in the suck, and you track down it over and over in the suck, to the point where you know precisely what your identity is. A great many people are missing something since they don't have the foggiest idea who they are. They never analyze themselves. They've never done this examination on themselves, the guinea pig. We are in general lab rodents. But on the other hand, you're the researcher. You make your own self. Most individuals are missing something. In light of the fact that there's such a lot of caught in there, I need to say potential. I believe that is word utilized out a lot of excessively. There's so much in you that God or whoever the damnation you have confidence in, or on the other hand, assuming that you're non-believer in you that you have not. Unopened, that you stroll around with this stunning spouse, or on the other hand, incredible spouse, and this cash. Like God, I feel like I'm missing something, no doubt, since it's around 75% of you is still, in there actually tied up, since you simply didn't have any desire to find your self-control, would have rather not viewed as your soul, your will, your heart, your assurance, your guts, your mental fortitude. And with that seems as though it looks unnerving, like your little terrifying lab. I went in unnerving to awaken consistently and say I'm moronic. However, I need to sort out a method for being more brilliant, as opposed to saying man. There's simply no way to do that. So you limit this crate so your box becomes so little of things you can do. My crate wasn't so much as a container. It was a bit like little pinhole. And afterward, through inspecting myself, getting some resolve, some boldness, it expanded than this table, however. That is the very thing that we as a whole do. That is why I needed to come here today and talk to you about genuine-ish not knowing like hacks. There's no hacks, brother. It's you against you, and on the off chance that you misconstrue that you have a genuine issue. Genuine issue. I can comprehend you misconstrue me running down the road, shirt off this. No better believe it, I can get it. I get it. Assuming you misconstrue what I'm talking about right now. Today the issue is, you and you would rather not fix it. Our way of life has become snared on the convenient solution, the little-known technique effectiveness. Everybody is on the chase after that straightforward activity calculation that nets most extreme benefit with minimal measure of exertion. There's no denying this disposition might get. You a portion of the features of progress if you're fortunate. Yet it won't lead to an unfeeling brain or discipline. If you have any desire to dominate the brain and eliminate your lead representative, you'll need to become dependent on difficult work on the grounds that enthusiasm and fixation, even ability, are just helpful devices, assuming you have the work ethic to back them up. My hard working attitude day is the absolute most significant figure all of my achievements. All the other things is optional. And with regards to difficult work, whether in the exercise center or hands on the 40, rule concerns me. A 40-hour work week is a 40% exertion. It very well might be acceptable. Yet that is a different way to say unremarkableness. Don't make do with a 40-hour work week. There are 168 hours in 7 days. That implies you have the hours to place in that additional time at work without skipping on your activity. It implies smoothing out your sustenance, investing quality energy with your better half. And messes with it implies SC booking your life, like you're on a 24-hour mission each and every day. The number one reason I hear from individuals as to why they don't sort out as much as they need to is that they don't have time. Look, we as a whole have work commitments. Not a solitary one of us need to worry, and you'll need time with the family, or they'll trip thee out. I get it. And assuming that is your circumstance, you should win the morning. When I was all day with the SEALs, I augmented the dim hours before first light. At the point when my better half was resting, I would bang out a 6 to 10 mile run. My stuff was all spread out the night prior to my lunch, was stuffed, and my work garments were in my storage at work, where I shower before my day began, at 7:30 a.m. On a commonplace day, I'd be out the entryway for my run just after 4 a.m. Also, back by 5:15 a.m. Since that wasn't enough for myself, and since we just claimed one vehicle, I rode my bicycle. I at long last got my own 25 miles to work. I'd work from 7:30 a.m. to early afternoon and eat at my work area previously or after my lunch break. During the lunch break, I'd raise a ruckus around town exercise center, or do a 4 to 6 mile oceanside run, work the midday shift, and jump on my bicycle for the 25-minute ride home when I was home at 700 p.m. I'd have run around 15 miles, rock 50 miles on the bicycle, and put in an entire day at the workplace. I was consistently home for supper and in bed by 10 p.m. So I could do everything over again the following day on Saturdays. I'd snooze until 700 a.m. at a 3-hour exercise and use whatever might remain of the end of the week with Kate on the off chance that I didn't have a race. Sundays were my dynamic recuperation days. I do a simple ride at a low heart rate, keeping my heartbeat under 110, pulsates each moment to animate sound, blued stream. Perhaps you believe I'm an extraordinary case, or, then again, an obs excessive neurotic. Fine, I will not contend with you. However, what might be said about my companion, Mike, he's a hotshot monetary counsel in New York City. His occupation is high tension, and his business day is quite a parcel longer than 8 hours. He has a spouse and 2 children, and he's a ultra sprinter. This is the way he does it. He awakens at 4 a.m. Each workday runs 6 to 90 minutes every morning, while his family is as yet napping, rides a bicycle to working back, and does a speedy 30 moment, a treadmill pursue. He returns home. He goes out for longer sudden spikes in demand for ends of the week. Yet he limits its effect on his loved ones' commitments. He's powerful, well off, as, what's more, could undoubtedly keep up with the norm with less exertion and partake in the sweet. His rewards for all the hard work, yet he tracks down a way to remain hard on the grounds that his works are his best leafy foods, makes time to get everything in by limiting how much raw. Stopping up his timetable, his needs are clear, and he remains devoted to his needs. I'm not discussing general needs here either. Every hour of his week is committed to a specific errand, and when that hour appears progressively, he centers 100% around that task. That is the means by which I do it too, in light of the fact that that is the main way to limit squandered hours, assess your life in its entirety. We as a whole burn through such a lot of time doing aimless bull. We consume hours on friendly media and staring at the TV, which by the year's end would amount to whole long stretches of time. Assuming you classify time as you do your duties, you ought to sense, supposing that you knew reality, you deactivate your Facebook account detail. What's more, cut your link when you find yourself having negligible discussions. Or, then again, becoming incensed, trapped in exercises that don't better you in any capacity move. The own. It's more critical to possess your shortcomings. You got to significantly increase, as a matter of fact, down on the those man, since why you need to turn into a full individual. We like to take off from shortcomings. Like, for example, assuming you're great at running everything you believe that should do is run. Assuming you're incredible at perusing, you have a few books, however. We don't do those things that we're bad at. So for me, I understood. I keep on taking off from these things. I'm bad at. I need to plunge into these things. I need to become one with these things, and that occurred thus. I own them both, and I talk straightforwardly about them both for quite a long time. I've lived like a priest. I don't have any idea or invest energy with a great deal of individuals. My circle is extremely close. I post on virtual entertainment on more than one occasion per week, and I never check any other individual's feeds in light of the fact that I don't follow anybody. That is simply me. I'm not saying you should be that unforgiving in light of the fact that you and I most likely try not to have similar objectives. However, I know you have objectives as well and space for improvement. And that's what I ensure. If you evaluated your timetable, you'd set aside opportunity for more work and less ADO. It really depends on you to track down approaches to kill your bull. How long do you spend during supper talking about nothing? After the dinner is done, how many calls and messages do you send for no reason at all? Glance at for what seems like forever list, your commitments and undertakings, put a timestamp on them. How long are expected to shop, eat, and clean? What's your drive? Like, could you at any point make it there under your own power block? Everything into windows of time. And once your day is planned out, you'll know how much adaptability you need to practice on a given day and how to expand it. Maybe you're not hoping to get fit yet, have been longing for beginning a business of your own, or have consistently needed to become familiar with a language or an instrument you're fixated on. Fine, the same rule applies. Investigate your timetable, kill your unfilled propensities, wear out the da. Also, see what's left, is it? 1 hour out of each day, 3 currently. Augment that. That implies posting you're focused on task all day long. You can even tighten it down to 15-minute windows. And remember fences for your everyday timetable. Recall how I neglected to remember stopping boards for my race plan at Ultram. Man, you want stopping boards in your day-to-day plan. As well, if one task seeps into extra time, ensure you know it and start to change into your next focused on task straight away. Utilize your cell phone for efficiency, hacks, not misleading content. Turn on your schedule cautions, have those alerts set. If you review your life skirt, the poet, and use stopping boards, you'll set aside opportunity to do all that you want and believe should do. Yet, recollect that you like, wise need rest, so plan. That in pay attention to your body, sneak in those 10 to brief power rests when important, and take one full rest day of the week in the event that it's a rest day. Genuinely permit your brain and body to unwind. Switch your telephone off, keep the PC closed down. A rest day implies you ought to be loosened up, hanging with companions